I think through the youth. And I think everybody's trying the new ways of doing it. But I think we have found something which is proving in my personal experience of last 5 years. And I think even I have learned a great deal more. I've learned so much new knowledge in the last 5 years, mainly because of the mentorship program. I'll explain to you later on why. But I think the Rotaractors themselves have been a stimulus for Rotarians. And that's why Rotary International has recommended working with the Toastmasters. Now, I was a Toastmaster long time ago for nearly 10 years, and I was involved not only in the Rotary, in the Toastmasters in Calgary, Alberta, but also I was also invited on many seminars and also partake in the competitions as well. But I think we have not realized, Rotary International realizes this one, and that's why they want us to work. And I think the Rotary International um has come out. I convey to all the Rotarians that I think Rotary is something quite different than it was before. Yes, we still have four-way test and all that, but I think to attract new members, this is the only way we can do it. I'm finding this a challenge in Toronto, and particularly in Richmond here, where I am a Rotarian now. I'm not yet a Rotarian, but I attend their meetings. But the thinking is so very old that I think we just have to donate money. And that is not the reason why we are Rotarians.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'd also like to request Rotarian Nicodemus, who's also been very active alongside Rotarian Winnie, the Deputy Director, right, of Youth Service, to kindly say a few words.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. It's been a pleasure working with Winnie. As Winnie has mentioned, the youth, our Rotary clubs and interactors have done quite a lot despite the numerous challenges that we've had. There'll be a showcase. There's a video actually that has been doing rounds. I think we'll also forward the same via email to Bidiji Mohammed to just have a look. But we've done quite a lot, which I'm really, really grateful and proud of. Yeah, so the showcase today will be just a recap of the mentorship program from its inception, and then Ruth will take us through what the future looks like for the whole program. Of course, we have a very keen focus on extending the same to our sister clubs. So I really look forward to the session today.
Like David Gitanga, our Rotary Salome, I think they have practical experience on this matter, and I'm hoping that we can make an impact because we have very good senior members, and they can really make a difference on the life of these young people.
Very true.
In one sentence, I have to say, today at one time when I joined Rotary, or until now, we were told you're joining Rotary for what you can put into it. But I think now time has changed, and we can tell any new member, you joined Rotary so you can benefit out of that. I don't mind saying that. And by motivating them, they will contribute.
Yes. Those are great words of wisdom, and I hope all of our Rotaractors are also listening in very keenly.
Yes.
Rotarian Winnie, yes.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. But you can't have a cake.
I can't. In fact, just for proof, this is my version of celebration today.
Very, very happy birthday, Rotarian Beatrice. Dr. Beatrice, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought I had got away with it. I thought it was very quiet, Winnie.
Okay, Harvey.
That's for you.
Oh, thank you. And I absolutely love Kenyan roses. So thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. It's wonderful to share it with all of you.
Happy birthday, Dr. Beatrice.
Thank you, Shivrika. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So, Dr. Beatrice, are we allowed to have cake on your behalf?
Let's see. I think we need to discuss whether it's going to have
Fruit.
melon or I think the cucumber cake. What do you think, President Ritesh?
I'll go for that. I mean, I sneaked in some cake earlier for which I'm still facing some consequences, right?
Correct.
Right, so.
Correct. Yes, it was almost a life sentence.
Oh, wonderful. Happy birthday.
I think I see RCNC, they're inviting you for a cake, Dr. Beatrice, on the 29th.
Oh, wow.
On the chat group, I can see that. Something.
I see. I shall have to deal with that shortly. Thank you. I look forward to it. Thank you.
Dr. Manubhai, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Today the day is beautiful, so you can look at it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And I had a GM, so I couldn't join earlier.
Oh, but most welcome.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Dr. Beatrice. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my goodness.
Wonderful. Yay. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Chandaria.
Thank you, Dr. Chandaria.
Wow.
Indeed, indeed. You know, I must tell you that you were one of the first people I sat next to at my first ever meeting at the Rotary. And I was so blown away by how easy it was to just share and laugh. So thank you for making me feel welcome at the Rotary.
Well, if you can't laugh at Rotary, where would you laugh anyway?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I think Dr. Beatrice has already made tremendous contribution to the Rotaractors in the mentorship program. And I think we will hear about her from other Rotaractors in our club as well. So Beatrice, you keep on doing what you've been doing, and we're very proud of that you became a Rotarian, and particularly at the time when we needed a person like you a lot in our ask you to sing the happy birthday for the Rotarian.
Thank you. As long as my voice lasts, it's good.
It's
Fantastic. We second that.
And Chief Mohammed, actually, I've actually heard you sing at Lyco Regency, and you sing very well as well. So maybe Dr. Beatrice might request you at some point.
They should do a duet.
Oh, okay.
They should do a duet.
Yeah.
A Zoom duet.
No.
Thank you. And now I will call upon Rotarian Nicodemus to kindly say a prayer for us.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Rotary prayer. O God and giver of all good, we thank thee for our daily food. May Rotary friends and Rotary ways help us to serve thee all of our days. Amen.
Amen. And now I will call upon Rotarian Winnie, our Youth Service Director, to kindly recite the four-way test.
Thank you, President Ritesh. The Rotary four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Winnie. And now I will request, if you have something to drink, ladies and gentlemen, kindly raise a glass. Alternatively, hand to the chest as we raise a toast to the President of the Republic of Kenya. The President. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to give a very warm welcome to all the Rotarians and Rotaractors who are here with us today. We have Rotaractors from the Rotaract Club of Nairobi Central, Rotaract Club of USIU, as well as the Rotaract Club of KCA University. And welcome to all the presidents of the three Rotaract clubs. I will now kindly hand over to Rotarian Winnie, who is our Youth Service Director, who has very carefully planned this very special meeting for us today with her committee to kindly take the project for this program forward. Thank you, Rotarian Winnie. Over to you.
Thank you, President Tesh. Thank you, fellow Rotarians and Rotaractors, for being here today. We have aligned for you a very special program, and that is we shall be having the mentorship. We shall be going through the refab of the mentorship, how it began, and we'll also have Dr. Sally and Dr. Githanga take us through, and then we'll showcase with what the Rotaractors have been doing during the past 1 year, that is 2020 to 2021. And we are very grateful to have you in our platform for today. Thank you so much, and karibuni sana. Rotarian Nicodemus, could you kindly take us through for the program for today?
Thank you so much, Rotarian Winnie. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'd like to welcome all of you to this session today. It's been long in coming. May is the month of May in the Rotary calendar is Youth Service Month, and of course, us at RCN, we are normally very keen on our youth. So we planned a meeting purposefully for the youth. So today's session will include three distinct parts. We're going to have a presentation on the mentorship program that has been running for the last half a decade, that's 5 years. And then after that, we'll have Rotarians, Dr. Githanga and Dr. Sally lend their voices to their personal experiences in terms of having initiated and participated in the mentorship program. They are still current active members. After that, of course, we'll have a brief Q&A session, after which we'll also have now that video that President Ritesh alluded to. And this is a showcase of all that the Rotarians have done. All the Rotaractors together in partnership with us have done in the last 1 year. Yeah. So I think we'll very quickly move on to the main presentation, and I'll like to invite Rotaractor Ruth Kihoro to introduce herself and take us through the presentation. Anthony, on the background, kindly assist with whichever way she might require to make sure the presentation goes seamlessly. Thank you. So, Rotaractor Ruth.
Thank you, Rotarian Nicodemus, who is also my mentor. Very proud. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ruth Kihoro. I'm the president-elect of the Rotaract Club of Nairobi Central. Professionally, I am an assistant quantity surveyor and a project manager. So I'll be taking you through today's presentation. So let me just, Anthony, could you share the presentation or enable me to share my screen? Anthony? Thank you. I'll just take us to the beginning. Thank you. So I'm here to talk about the RCN-RCNC mentorship program, which has been there for the past 5 years. So we'll just dive straight into it. I'd like to highlight that the two clubs have been in partnership for the past 43 years, which is no mean feat. So congratulations to both clubs. In the words of Oprah Winfrey, a mentor should be someone who allows you to see the hope inside yourself, or at least point you in the right direction. And I think she has done well in mentoring ladies who come after her. So that is something you can refer to later. The RCN RCNC mentorship program is a platform where we encourage Rotarians and Rotaractors to share their experience, and mentorship is done in two ways. We have the conventional mentorship, which is explained in the slides, and then we also have the reverse mentorship where people share new experiences that were not there necessarily in the previous times. And you can refer to the relationship between Denzel Washington and the late Chadwick Boseman, which will give you a good idea of how the mentorship program works at RCNC and RCN, because both Rotaractors and Rotarians contribute their opinions and ideas, and each party gains knowledge. So as I said, the mentorship program started in 2016 and was designed to groom the Rotaractors to become Rotarians, thus growing the Rotary family, and also promote a bond between the Rotarians and us as Rotaractors. So how the mentorship program works, we have different groups which are divided based on interests of the individuals, both on the sides of Rotarians and Rotaractors. Each group has at least 2 Rotarians and 5 Rotaractors. So each group meets monthly. There's usually a topic given by the mentorship directors, or the group can choose a topic they will do on their own, and that is discussed and reported to the directorship of both clubs. So the program runs on trust. The parties have to trust each other enough to share their experiences. They must respect each other's time and opinions on various issues, and then all parties must be accountable in the program. So this slide basically shows the different roles that the parties play. For example, Rotarians are required to give advice on various issues, give feedback to Rotaractors on how the program is on various items or topics. They also need to be good listeners. They're also required to meet at the required time. Same for the Rotaractors. Rotaractors are also required to be proactive. And as PDG said, that Rotaractors tend to drive and have that energy that brings the mentorship program to life. We're also encouraged to lead discussions in the different mentorship meetings. And then we also keep contact with Rotarians, thus enhancing the bond that the program was meant to achieve, initially stated. So each group has a group leader who basically keeps everything together. They schedule the meetings, report, and ensure that all members of the group are engaged and gain from the mentorship program. So these are some of the photos from people enjoying. We can see Rotarian Winnie there, smiling very happily. We can also see some Rotaractors, Alice, we see Rotarian Gideon, Rotarian Ritesh. These are some of the photos that are taken, and I'm glad that all are smiling, because that's what mentorship should be about. So why mentorship? As PDG said, we need to gain from everything we do in Rotary and Rotaract. So some here are listed some of the benefits that you get. Personally, I'd like to highlight, for me, fun, fellowship, and family comes first, because that is something I've learned from Dr. Gidanga and Dr. Sally. We have become friends, which is very good. So whenever I have an issue or something I'd like their take on, I feel very comfortable to call them. I'm also able to network with Rotarians and my fellow Rotaractors in the different groups, gain their opinion on different topics. And then I think this goes for everyone. You're able to reflect on the previous choices that you've made, so that due to the discussion, so that it just jogs you and also shows you how far you've come through the program, and also as an individual. And also it ignites certain interests. Through the discussions, you might find there are certain hobbies that you let go, and then you want to rediscover yourself. So the mentorship program is a very good way to do that. This is also another way to show that the mentorship is impactful. We can see the tall and handsome Rotarian Ritesh addressing the mentorship attendees. So since the program started, we have seen, yes, we have seen a growth in numbers and diversity. We have seen people grow networks, which is very good. There has been a seamless transition every year from one director to another, and we've been able to have get-togethers so that as much as people are in their different groups, we're able to mingle as a larger group during the mentorship cocktail, which unfortunately we've not been able to have due to COVID, but we hope it will be back soon. So the program has had a couple of challenges, which are on the slide in your screens. I'd like to highlight that the group composition and structure has been a challenge because of the absorption and transition of members. So that has been a challenge that has been in the program. Also because, as I said, the groups are divided based on individual interests. So these interests tend to change over time, and that is something we are having a challenge addressing. Then there's also the reporting, which has not been done as well as we would have liked it to. Then we would also like the program to adapt to the changing times. Have to have meetings online because of COVID, or have them under certain guidelines. There are transitions. Rotaractors are transitioning to Rotary, and all this needs to be taken into account, which are posing a bit of challenge to the program. So this is the most exciting part of this presentation, the future. So yes, we have been looking back at the program, but now we want to see what we can do going forward. So you can read what's on the screen, but I'd like to highlight a few things. We would like to incorporate KCA University and USIU into the program so that it's a family mentorship now. And then we also want to give groups liberty and freedom to have their own topics of choice besides what is there for the month. We also want more people to join in, both from Rotary and Rotaract, so that the program can be more vibrant and then we can be able to reach more people. Then we would like to reconstitute the groups. As I said, people's interests and needs change. So we would like to ensure the program remains efficient. And then finally, we would like people to recommit to the program so that we have all willing members and people who are active and energetic and excited for mentorship. So thank you. I'd like to call on Dr. Gibanga to give his experience on mentorship.
Hello, everyone. My name is David, and I'm sorry, today I have a very, very unstable network, so I keep on losing bits and bobs, but I did hear the little bit of the presentation by Ruth, and the idea basically has been explained how it came about in 2015, 2016. We sat around with the leadership of RCNC, and I was just getting to the presidency in 2016, and we said, why is mother and child here not as close as they should be? And that was the first issue. And then the second issue is, why don't we have transitioning by our Rotaractors into RCN? Many of you may by now know that this is the third oldest club in this part of the world. I think Rotary having come into Africa via South Africa, then Cairo, and then Nairobi was the third. So basically all the clubs within this region have come from RCN, and of necessity then it means we are a mature club. And with maturity, there are issues that come in. When I joined in '94, I was supposed to have been one of the young tax, and clearly I'm not one of the young tax. There are many young tax. And why was it seen to be necessary to try and get these groups to work together? We found Rotarians are very knowledgeable, they're very experienced, and fairly well connected, and very good fundraisers too. On the other hand, we have very, very energetic, creative Rotaractors and so on, and yet we are not synergizing enough. And we got together and say, how can we do this together? And we started the whole issue of mentorship. And mentorship is become a global thing now, where basically even in medicine, the space in which I work, and it's really, medicine is an apprenticeship. You work alongside people who are your seniors and you learn from them. And mentorship became too a big thing in even the way we train medicine, where I fly off maybe to Lodwar and work with the people there looking after children, basically side by side as colleagues, even when they are clinical officers. And we know that our actions stem from our thoughts. And our actions also influence others. So merely just being together was value addition. And I think that we have to some extent succeeded, but there's room. There was a little bit of anxiety initially from the Rotarians. What am I going to be telling these young people? What do they want from me and so on? But actually, for the Rotarians that have participated in this mentorship, they found that you are enriched both ways. It's not really a one-way thing, it's a bi-directional thing. I'll stop for now. I'll probably come in at a certain point, just in case Sally would want to say something at this point. Thank you. Chair?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Gidanga. Sally, Rotarian Sally had mentioned that she might join us slightly late. She had a previous engagement, but immediately she joins us, we will get her on. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruth and Dr. Gidanga. I'd like to open the floor to questions. And the format I'd like is kindly you can raise your hand and then you set the question, and then we'll pick in groups of 3, and then we will throw the questions to, you can address them to specific presenters or people present, or you can leave them open and then we can allocate someone to answer them. So I'd like to welcome questions. Yes, Dr. Sally has just joined us. Let's give her 2-3 minutes to settle in, and then we will get her thoughts on the same. So I'll welcome the first round of questions. You are also welcome to post the questions on the chat. That is if they're brief and you don't feel like raising your hand. Dr. Margareta has a question. Kindly.
Yes, thank you. So, yes, thank you. This is wonderful. I love the concept of mentorship, and I'm so glad your clubs have taken this to heart, and you have a lot of resources among our club, which we really, I'm sure I can speak for the club in saying we want to be tapped because there's a lot of very knowledgeable people. I wanted to know if you could share some of the topics that you have actually covered in your mentorship meetings, because Dr. David brought up a good point that as they were starting, they were not sure if they were going to offer the right things, the things that the rotor actors really wanted to hear. So maybe twofold, you could share what you have, what topics you have gone through, and what topics you might want to go through in future. Especially because people are in so many different professions, and I think every single profession has something to share. So thank you very much, Nicodemus. I think you're one of our, you yourself are a great example. I think you've made the transition over this year, isn't that true?
Yes,
you were
June
a rotor
last year,
actor at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. You're most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Margareta. I'll welcome the second question, and then the 2 will be answered. Anyone else? Okay. I'd like to invite Rotractor Frederick Oburu. Are you with us? to kindly respond to the question, the topics that we have covered in mentorship in the past. Fred, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Okay, my name is.
Kindly, if you could the questions.
I'm Frederick from the Rotary Club of Nairobi Central. Now, on the topics that we've discussed, considering this is the 5th year of the program, and every month has a topic, I'll give a few, but definitely I can't exhaust them since they are, that is 12 times 5 years. Some of them that we've covered recently, we've done mental health, we've done a discussion between life policies and SACCOs. We've done physical health. Normally in December, we encourage physical fitness, which is normally a walk as people chat. We've done, basically they have been broad from medical to investments to the social life. But we feel that these topics, to some extent, since they're generated by the director in charge for everyone, we have a feeling that we might do better, and they might have more impact if the subgroups come up with their own topics that affects its own members, then discuss them within the month, then report back to the director. Because at the end of the day, we need to address the concerns of these particular members from both Rotaractors and Rotarians. So the topics are broad, but we are looking at ways of narrowing them down to the specific groups who are part of it. We can, however, share a template of all those topics.
Okay, thank you, Frederick. Just to add to that, we have comprehensive reports that we've done over the years in terms of all the sessions that people have had and the topics discussed. So we are going to share a brief write-up to all the Rotarians and the Rotaract present, just encapsulating the kind of topics we've ever covered. I know there are things as far back when they're beginning things to do with tact and diplomacy and so on and so forth, complete with even notes of the ideas that we came up with here. So we'll be able to share that after this session. Thank you so much, Frederick. Now that Sally is settled in, I'd like to welcome Rotarian Sally to give us her thoughts on the whole mentorship program. She's been in it since the very beginning. So, karibu sana Rotarian Sally.
Thank you, Rotaract Nicodemus. I hope you can hear me because I am
Rotarian Nicodemus.
Rotarian. My big apologies, of course. Thank you, President Ritesh, fellow Rotarians and guests. Yes, I have been in this in the mentoring program, which actually has been very, very enjoyable, and it's been a season of giving and taking. And first of all, shout out to the Titans, and very happy to be in that group, and happy that Ruth and other Titans are on the call and the presentation. Thank you very much. And my colleague, DG, Dr. Gedanga. The experience has been great, and we've had sessions before COVID. We had walks in the Arboretum. We had home fellowships. And the amazing thing is that we learn both ways. We've actually sat and engaged with the Rotaractors and learned so much from them, their contribution. So even as you think that mentoring, sometimes people think that those with the experience are the ones to give. I personally have learned so much from the Titan Rotaractors, because in some of the aspects we get to see what their thinking is. It has helped to vary the modes of a meeting, because sometimes when we just sit in a constricted place like a coffee shop or a meeting hall, that can contain your thoughts. But when we walk like at the Arboretum, it helps that in the open, we get aspects of even relaxing, like Fred has said, you relax and you share, then you fellowship over a picnic. And then when you have the home visits, it's good because you relax, you take time. At these home fellowships, we have invited other groups and other people. In one, we invited some Rotaractors from Muthaiga, and in one of the others, I remember we also invited then district Rotaract representative Sam. We also invite some guests who come to join and help us just in the topics of the day. I remember some of the topics around membership, around financial aspects and investments. There was a time we had a very interesting debate on the cryptocurrency, and then also on careers. At some time there was engagement on relationships, and in all this we learn. So let me stop then, perhaps respond to some of the questions that may be coming in. Thank you, Rotarian Nicodemus. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rotarian Sally. I'd like to open the floor to more questions, please. I'm sure you've had quite a bit of content. And just to be clear, there are a lot of Rotaractors who are present, a lot of them who I know personally. So kindly ask questions, or I'll start pointing out and asking questions to you guys. So do you have any questions? You can just raise hands and then I can pick you up. Any questions? Okay, of course, I was once a teacher for a brief period of time. So my understanding would be, if there are no questions, it seems all of us understood exactly what was happening, or we did not hear anything. So I will hope that all of us are fully aligned. Yeah, I can see Dr. Yaniva saying that they will type their questions, so we'll give them a brief moment to do that. But before that, I'd like to welcome CP Eunice of KCA University. Kindly give your thoughts on what you've heard today, and of course, you've clearly heard that we'll be more than eager to have the Rotary Club of KCA University join us in the mentorship program. What are your thoughts on that, Charter President Eunice?
Thank you, Rotarian Nicodemus. You can hear me?
Yes, you can. Kindly proceed.
All right. Thank you so much. To introduce myself, my name is Eunice Kaniu, CP KCA University. We are waiting to be chartered, and we are very excited about it. Classification is marketing and business development. KCA, the Rotary Club of KCA, well, we've been existing as eggs, and we've had quite a very good year. We've had a lot of activities, which include that we were part of the tree planting with the Rotary Club of Nairobi, our mother club, in marking their 90 years. At Karura, we were also able to have our own project of tree planting and landscaping at KCA to mark the Rotaract Week. We were able also to participate closing the year last year. We had our children's home visit, where we were able to donate around 32 pairs of shoes to Thomas Bernardo Children's Home. So we are very excited to be formally formed so that we can be able to be part of the other Rotaractors. Well, for the year, we have some plans. As we get charted, we have some ideas about our signature project. We are deliberating about having rabbit rearing. We've identified around 3 schools, which we are yet to settle on them. And we are also going to engage in tree planting, that is in conjunction with the Interact clubs. We understand that there is a project that has been going on with the planting and also plant fruits. Well, as for the mentorship program, we've always admired what has been happening. We've not been able to be part of it as a club, but personally, I think I've joined like 2 sessions. And knowing that we are going to be part of that, it's quite amazing. In fact, I had a question about whether we can be able to propose our own project, and I think that was clearly mentioned by Dr. Givanga. Yes, we have like around 6 topics that members of our Rotary Club of KCA had in mind, and we are going to be sharing with them, and we look forward to be part of the program. We get mentored, and also as we grow that the next year, we are going also to be the people who will be mentoring others. So yes, we are very excited about it. And thank you so much for the chance, Rotarian Nicodemus.
Thank you, CP Eunice. Thank you so much for those remarks. You are the last born for RCN, so enjoy that title as long as you can. Of course, the future includes another much younger sibling. So I'll go to the chat. There are two questions that have been posted, and the first one is from Rotarian Eva. How do you plan to incorporate the Rotarians not in the mentorship program? I think I'll take this one, Rotarian Eva. In the presentation that Ruth shared earlier, the way the mentorship program is structured, we have a point person at the Rotary Club of Nairobi Central, who is the mentorship director, who is an assistant to the vocational service director. So their purpose is more or less to drive the mentorship program. For the longest time at RCN, we did not have, apart from the youth service team as a whole, we did not have a single point person who would actually be spearheading the whole mentorship program. So in the coming year, I'm fortunate enough to be working with President Gideon as the youth service director. One of our goals will be to appoint a small team with a point person who will be in charge of mentorship on the Rotarian side. And our goal is to have that small team engage each of the new Rotarians and also basically all the Rotarians at RCN on a personal level to get them engaged and to get them to join the various mentorship groups. Yeah. So it will be purposeful and deliberate interactions with the various Rotarians to make sure they come fully on board. That's how we look to incorporate the Rotarians who are not in the program. And of course, even using this presentation, it also lends to serve the same purpose. So we have a second question here from Dr. Michael Dr. Michael Hopkins. The question is, I'm new to RCN and have seen Rotaract. What are the 3 key issues Rotaract deals with? And as a rider, does sustainable philanthropy come into play, given philanthropy is always limited, however good? I would like to push this question to the Rotaractors, and I would like the President-elect Rotaractor Ruth to actually come in and help answer that question. So I'll repeat it again, Ruth, as you prepare yourself. I am new to RCN. What are the 3 key issues Rotaract deals with? And as a rider, does sustainable philanthropy come into play, given philanthropy is always limited, however good? So Ruth, your question is the first bit. What are the 3 key issues Rotaractors deal with?
In Rotaract or generally in life?
Let's put it in Rotaract. In life, it's just too broad. Let us just narrow it down to Rotaract and also your experiences.
So in, thank you. Do I have to switch on my camera, or this is okay?
That would be nice. That would be nice.
So thank you, Rotarian Nicodemus. So in Rotaract, the 3 main things that Rotaractors deal with is 1, finding professional development, not necessarily in terms of getting a job, but getting skills, because that's what you're sold to Rotaract. When you join, you're told this is an organization for professional development. So how do you ensure you get that and the most out of it? Secondly, doing something significant. Most Rotaract clubs tend to do community activities and not projects. So that's another issue Rotaractors struggle with, finding good projects or impactful projects to do as a club. Thirdly, getting funding. So how do you, for example, how do you go to a corporate partner the way we see Rotary clubs doing? You see Imperial Leather had a partnership with Rotary District. So how do we get to do things on such a larger scale, especially when it comes to funding? Because that's something Rotaractors struggle with. So is that sufficient? Is that a sufficient answer?
Yeah, I think for now it will have to be. Thank you for that, Ruth. The second part of the question was, does sustainable philanthropy come into play, given philanthropy is always limited, however good? I'd like to push this question to one of our Rotarians, Rotarian Sally. Kindly, if you could help respond to that. I'll repeat again. Does sustainable philanthropy come into play, given philanthropy is always limited, however good? Dr. Sally, are you with us? Oh, sorry, she seems to have had an issue. I'd like to pick on President Ritesh, kindly, if you could.
Yes, Rotarian Nicodemus. I've just received a message from Dr. Sally. She's logging on again shortly. She has connectivity problems.
Okay. So the question was, the question from Rotarian Dr. Michael Hopkins was, in line with the issues that Rotaractors deal with, does sustainable philanthropy come into play, given philanthropy is always limited, however good? Maybe your thoughts on the same, Mr. President?
Actually, I would just like here to point out the link between Rotary and Rotaract. And Professor Michael Hopkins, you're aware of the activities which Rotary has undertaken, including the various avenues and areas of focus. And Rotaract, and also to that extent Interact, are an extension of Rotary. So more or less, the guiding principles are the same. They just flow through. And I see PDG Muhammad Abdallah would like to also share something here. PDG Muhammad.
Thank you. I think this program, according to me, in my experience of the program, it's not fully understood by the Rotarians in our club. There are 5 groups, and in our group we only have 2, all very 100% active Rotarians. We can do with more Rotarians. So if there are only 5 groups, there are only 10 to 12 Rotarians in our Rotary Club who are involved with the program. So really, you cannot call it a successful program from the Rotarians' point of view, because they are not involved. Now, the important thing about this program is that this type of program has never existed before, because traditionally mentorship is relationship between the 2 persons, mentor and mentee, whereas ours is a group mentorship program, which is quite unique. And I don't think we have any group mentorship program elsewhere, even globally. I made some research and all that. And so I think this group mentorship program is really not the normal mentorship program that there's a mentor teaching the mentee. Our mentorship program is exchange of personal experiences of life. It's a life experience of Rotarians that is being shared with the Rotaractors. And so as a result of this, we have covered some very important subjects. And I think over the last 5 years, what has come out of this subject is that in our group, every meeting subject, for every meeting of the subject, we prepared a 1-page synopsis. And that synopsis is now so very important and vital in the Rotaract's life, because it's become something like a document which you can always refer to. Only 1-pager which contains everybody's comments and the final takeaway from the meeting. It could be, say, for example, on the subject of financial planning, or it could be on any of the soft skills. For example, we discuss about the soft skill, and today the most important skills are required in the marketplace are not necessarily your own qualifications, but the soft skills. And what are the soft skills? The soft skills are like the emotional intelligence, like trying to see from other person's point of view, and not really take over the groups or the leadership role just because you know you are a senior person and you have some experience. I think you have to be understanding and share all that with the Rotaractors. So in my view, Rotaract program that we have is quite unique. And because every time a Rotarian attends a meeting, and that's why the subject is chosen in advance, every person who attends that particular session is doing his own homework. And in my case, I used to do a lot of research. So by doing the research on the program, As a Rotarian, I have learned so much more in the last 5 years than I could have ever learned in 30 years for that matter. So I have really acquired tremendous amount of knowledge. My new knowledge is all about how the thinking, as a result of the thinking of the young people that we have in the Rotary group. But I think today, most important thing in anybody's life is new knowledge. How can you get new knowledge once you are 40, 50, 60 years old? Because I think you can only get knowledge about your own profession and vocation. But how can you have the knowledge on, say, for example, our next topic of the discussion is going to be blind spot. Now, blind spot is something that you cannot just come and attend a meeting and give your opinion. You have to do your homework and research, and eventually a synopsis is prepared. So I think people will have that particular synopsis for them with all the time. So I think this has been a very important program, except that we do not have enough information among our Rotarians as to what this particular program has done. And I know that as a result of the people who are in my group, all the Rotaractors who have been in my groups have eventually joined a Rotary club. And I think this is a uh, good thing for Rotary that they are getting younger members as a result of this one. I thank you for letting me this opportunity, giving me this opportunity to share my views, and I'm hoping that this program becomes more uh, prevalent among the Rotary clubs globally everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, PDG Mohammed Abdullah. We are really, really honored. Of course, you've always been a champion of the mentorship program. We really look forward to further engagements with you, even as this program develops. Thank you so much, sir. It's really an honor. I would like to go to the chat again. There are a couple of questions that have come in as PDG Mohammed was speaking. And the first one is, I think, from Dr. Margareta. Who is your point person if we know of prospective retractors who you feel would be excellent retractors? Dr. Margareta, as long as you can get them, you can get them connected with me, I'll be more than happy to push their numbers and their contact details to the various presidents of the various clubs that are present here today. But also another means that has come in that has really eased off the process of introducing people to clubs is social media. So I can assure you, if the people who you think would make good retractors actually reach out to any of the Rotary clubs through their social media pages, I'm sure they'll receive a feedback and a contact person within 24 hours, or if not less. So just reaching out, and definitely someone will hold their hand. Yes. In terms of the other question was.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Ari. The other one is from Waringa. They say that. Hi everyone from RCCI. We have just chartered a Rotary Club of Sindindi. Can we link them up for mentorship? Please share how. So, okay, now I'll borrow from my experiences as a Rotaractor. We have the Rotary Kenya country office that is in charge of administering all the Rotary clubs in Kenya. So you need to develop very close ties between the new Rotary club that is chartered and the country office. And also we have clubs in Siaya, that is the Western region. We have numerous clubs in Kitale, in Kakamega, in Kisumu. All these clubs, when they come together and do joint projects, there's a lot of knowledge transfer that is gained. So the ideal would be make sure that this new baby club has as much interaction with all the other Rotary clubs around them as possible. Joint meetings, joint events, joint community service events, and all that. Of course, district events also come in terms of receiving mentorship. In terms of receiving mentorship, this is whereby, for example, attending the BCA, that would really, really be helpful. And I'd also like maybe after this session, Waringa, we could get in touch and continue discussing that further. Yeah? Thank you for that. Thank you for those questions. Time seems to be moving quite fast, and I'd like to hand over back the meeting to President Ritesh. Mr. President, kindly.
Thank you very much indeed, Rotarian Nicodemus, and also to Rotarian Winnie for putting together this wonderful meeting today. I wish to thank President-elect Ruth and also Charter President of Rotaract KCA University and the President of Rotaract Club of USIU, as well as all the visiting Rotaractors for joining us on this wonderful meeting today. I actually have received a video which has been prepared by the Rotaractors. Rotarian Nicodemus, would you like me to share that video?
Kindly, Mr. President.
Thank you. Kindly allow me a minute. Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed that wonderful presentation, which was prepared by our wonderful Rotaractors. And I wish to congratulate all these three Rotaract clubs. You are really making us proud at Rotary Club of Nairobi. The wonderful projects you're carrying out, the wonderful fellowships you've been having also during these times of the pandemic, of course, taking into consideration all the social distancing and the health and safety guidelines. And also, most importantly, the involvement which you've had with community activities and also the awards which Rotaract Club of Nairobi Central has managed to gather, literally a whole group of awards at the district conference. So congratulations all. PDG Mohammed, would you like to say something to the Rotaractors? Sorry, you are on mute.
I like to remember the founder of the program, who was the Rotaract president in 2016. And I think within the 12, 18 months, he actually was assassinated in the terrorist attack in Nairobi. And I think he left a legacy for us. And I think we have to remember him all the time, that because of his concept, it might not have been what he had imagined first, but I think we have evolved the program. And I believe this is one of the best idea that Rotary has come across. And I will do all my best to make sure that this concept is shared and carried out in as many new Rotary clubs as possible. And I'm hoping in our club, we will get more Rotarians invited to join the groups so that we can expand the experience and the knowledge that we acquire by exchange of ideas and of our life experience. After all, you have to leave a legacy. And in fact, one of the last assignment that I had before I left Nairobi was invitation to speak to Rotaractors in the annual meeting, and the subject matter was, "What is my legacy in Rotary?" And I think I asked this question to all the Rotarians: what legacy are you going to leave for Rotarian in Rotary, for Rotaractors, and for the community at large? And I think it has really taught me a great deal more than I realized. And I think I'm very happy to be associated with the Rotaractors in this way. Thank you very much for this program.
Thank you so much, PDG Mohammed. And I would like Rotarian Winnie, who's our youth service or young generations director, to kindly share her thoughts.
Thank you so much, President Ritesh. Thank you, PDG Mohammed Abdullah. I'm hoping probably one day we are invited to your mentorship group and we can learn how you run things. And thank you for the Rotaractors who are here. And my main word is to encourage all the Rotarians who have not joined our mentorship group, kindly do so. And it's a good platform. We will learn from the young generation and we learn from each other actually. So it would be a good thing for Rotarians to join the mentorship groups once everything is aligned. And yeah, it will be a great, you'll enjoy. We've really been enjoying so much in the mentorship groups, as PDG Mohammed has mentioned. So that is my main focus now. Kindly Rotarians, the new Rotarians, and also Rotarians who are not in the mentorship groups. Kindly let's join the mentorship groups. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rotarian Winnie. Can I also please call on Rotarian Nicodemus?
Thank you so much, Mr. President. To use myself as an example and also the broader Rotary context, the transition rate from Rotaract to Rotary has always been disappointingly low. But using myself as an example, because of the mentorship program and the familiarity and the friendships that I made within the Rotary Club of Nairobi, when the time came for me to transition, it was almost an obvious choice as to which club I would join. So this mentorship program is actually, it's an assured pipeline for new Rotarians to join the Rotary Club of Nairobi. And so now imagine, rather than having one inlet, which is the Rotary Club of Nairobi Central, imagine Rotaract USIU, Rotaract KCA, and many other Rotaract clubs. The bonds and the friendships that we make when we interact with each other, when we have coffee, when we share life experiences, they extend and carry forward to eventual membership in the various Rotary clubs. So the mentorship program is a fantastic idea. I'm really, really happy and honored to have been part of it from its inception to date. I'm not going anywhere. I plan to be very actively involved in mentorship for as long as I am a member of the Rotary Club of Nairobi, which is a very, very long time if we are to use someone like Manu Chandari as a yardstick. So I plan to be around and we plan to drive this mentorship program forward. I'm really, really glad that the future looks bright. And I would also like to call on the actors who are present, who are listening to me. I would like to kindly request them to join the Rotary Club of Nairobi. Of course, I'm sure we have demonstrated to them in this meeting and in many other meetings how cool we are, how awesome we are. We can sing, we can dance, we have cake, we have flowers, we are cool people. I'd really encourage all the actors to join this particular club. Karibuni sana. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Rotarian Nicodemus and Rotarian Winnie. You're absolutely right. I want to tell all the Rotaractors who have joined the meeting today, we are very cool people and we are very approachable. You have our contacts, you have our email addresses. Do reach out to us. You know, if you want to have a one-on-one conversation as well, we are very approachable. I think the whole reason this project was initiated during, I believe Dr. Gitanga had invited Rotaractor Cess at that point, who has now also become Rotarian, Cecilia. And she gave a talk at our club with Olivia. And it was probably to break the ice between the Rotaractors and Rotarians. And I'm hoping that that ice has long been broken and we are very approachable. So do reach out to us. We are so proud of the Rotaract clubs. All of us have witnessed all the activities which have taken place. Of course, by this wonderful video you have shown us. And congratulations to all the three clubs. And Rotarian Winnie, you have done an exemplary job this year as our Director of Youth Service. I just want to give a huge shout out to you, Rotarian Winnie, and to your Deputy Rotarian. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, President Ritesh.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'd like us to kindly raise a toast today. We have with us members from Rotary Club of Kitengela, Rotary Club of Siaya, Rotary Club of Mutaiga, Rotary Club of New River Onslow, and Rotaractors from Rotaract Club of KCA University, Rotaract Club of Nairobi Central, Rotaract USIU, and various other visiting Rotaractors, including Langata. So to that, this is a cheers to Rotary the world over.
Rotary the world over. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, President
Thank you so
Ritesh.
much.